Hey guys. Okay. So last night I had a dream about in Christ consciousness about humanity, sort of like from my perspective. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I was watching how how in our society, North America, we are the slaves and the presidents, the politicians become gods. Okay, how does that happen when we vote them in, right? Well, everything you know in politics is bullshit, illusion, so it's a lie. The presidents are put in by the Illuminati, and your vote really means nothing. So whoever you vote for, both parties, all parties, are run by the Illuminati, and they're controlled by the Illuminati. So whatever happens, they just adjust the outcome to what they want. And where does that put us? Where does that put us with Christ? Okay, so if you look at it, you go to work every day, you pay your taxes, you give your taxes to the Rothschild and the Federal Reserve or World Bank or whatever. Supposedly it's supposed to go back into your own country. But I don't think it does. Not to a point anyway. Only to a point. So where does that leave us? And that's what I was thinking about yesterday. I was just pondering it. So I went to sleep and had a dream about it. And the answer in Christ's consciousness, not from Christ, when you dream, when you have a problem and you're in Christ's consciousness, not the actual entity or entities that are called Christ, but just the whole energy of Christ consciousness, it'll give you answers to any problem you have. It's constant. That's all it does. Fix you, fix you, fix you. You don't have to have an entity come in you. Okay? It gives you the truth in everything. Christ consciousness. So that's really important, because the inner light, if you don't have any Christ consciousness in you or any other religious deities that own you, okay? So from Christ's perspective, I just want to put this out there real fast. From Christ tells me, and I've heard it on the internet, and religion says Jesus Christ. I just like Christ, okay? Christ consciousness is, they say, the only way to get to heaven or the inner light, the higher realms, where you don't have to come back to earth anymore. You're way beyond that. You don't need to do that anymore. The highest point in heaven, to be divine, back to the Creator sort of thing. That's the only way to get you up there, is through Christ or your inner light. But your inner light is such a high thing, such a high level of divinity, it's really hard for you to get it down here. Christ takes care of the lower astral and the light all the way up the chain. Okay? That's what I've come to learn, and I know it, and I own it. That's for me. That's my way. So you can look at all the other cultures, Buddha, all these other things, all these other demigods. They can be nice and talk love, but they only go so far. Okay? Christ is the one that fast tracks you to the top. Okay? In the truth. Now, with all that said, that's why I'm talking about this dream. If you chant Christ consciousness, bring the energy in you, it'll give you answers to your problems. Okay? And other people I know are doing this, and they see the changes in themselves since I started doing it. I'm posting these videos. My friends who are doing what I said are experiencing the same thing. They're getting answers to the problem. They may not understand or interpret the dream correctly, perfect, but they're getting answers to the problems. And that is more, for me, verification. So with that, I just wanted to say that and put that up there. Do whatever you want, I don't care. But this is my experiences, and I'm just posting them. So the dream I had was about why am I on the earth to just serve the Illuminati and these ankle biter politicians that we look at as gods? Why do we gotta be followers? Why do we gotta be followers to these fucking insane bastards? Okay, and they are. I don't care. All of them. Why do we gotta be? Civilization has turned. We have turned into slaves and made them gods. Okay. How does that happen? How does that happen? Where does that fit in all Christ consciousness? How does he give you the answer for it? Okay? And I got it. Why are we slaves and the Illuminati and the politicians and the bankers are all gods? Okay? Or people on mainstream media are all gods. CNN, people look at CNN news anchors. Well, not even news anymore. It's just talking heads spewing out, spinning bullshit and propaganda. They look at as gods. There's people that'll die for these fucking people. Okay? How does that happen? How? How can you follow? I don't get it. But anyway, that's my problem. That's what I was thinking about. And how come we're on the earth with Christ? Because when you're with Christ consciousness, you feel so empowered and everything. Then you're always subservient. The system makes you subservient and always keeps you down. Always keeps you enslaved to money. You could be a $10 billion heir and still be enslaved to money. You just get over enslaved. And they're always gods. Okay? Fuck. It drives you nuts. It drives you nuts. I had a problem with that. I never got an answer. So I'm going to guess. That's what I was thinking of before I went to sleep. So I went to sleep. And this is the dream I had. Starting now, just to let you know. I'm in World War II. I'm a Nazi SS. Just a fighter, not in the cannon fodder. And there's a creek in front of me. A creek about 10 feet across. And alongside the creek is like a pipe, but it's made out of porcelain pipe. Like a sewer pipe, porcelain sewer pipe, about 2 feet around, a foot around, and it's broken up into pieces all along for miles. And we had to pull pieces of the pipe out of the creek, hook them all together, pack it full of dynamite or gunpowder or whatever, explosives. Pack these pipes, all full of explosives, hook them together to make one long pipe. And then when the enemy crosses the creek, we blow it up and fucking kill everybody. Okay, that was the plan of the dream. Okay, now that's symbolic, by the way. Now, I'm doing this, and I spent like an hour in this dream pulling pipes out of this creek. And one time, Hitler came by in his SS sociopath, and they were checking out what we were doing, checking on the war, right? And I was looking at him, I pretended I was working, and I suddenly felt that I was like Savatage, because when we hooked up the pipes and packed it full of porcelain, I'd pack it full of, I'd do it wrong, I wouldn't pack it right so it wouldn't go off. And when we put the pipes together, I would sabotage it so it wouldn't work. Okay, I was sabotaging the pipe that was supposed to explode. Okay, now out of the dream, what that meant is the pipe is a political agenda, the pipe, okay? Political agenda. So the Nazis wanted to take over the world, kill everybody that they didn't want around, and take over. And that was their pipe. That was their main agenda. I, being an SS Nazi guy, was destroying the pipe as I was making it, okay? But I was a Nazi guy, and I was sabotaging the pipe. And I felt like I was going to get discovered. I was going to get found out, okay? And as the SS officers were walking by, the higher-ups, the sociopaths and Hitler and his fucking buddies, I felt, oh fuck, if they see one thing I've done, I'm dead, right? They're going to fucking kill me. So I had a place to hide in case it got found out. And that was the dream. That was what I felt when I saw them walking by. I'm like, oh shit. And I realized I was sabotaging everything they were trying to build. They were trying to build this pipe, this agenda to take over the world. I was sabotaging it when it was happening. Okay? Then, and I knew the whole agenda of the Nazi Party was bad. Okay? It was bad. I knew that going in, but I had no choice. Okay, I had to join the fucking war, the Nazi Party, so I wouldn't get killed for whatever reason. Okay, that's why I joined the Nazi Party. But when I was in the Nazi Party, when I was a soldier in the Nazi Party, I'm not saying I was ever in a past life or anything. In the dream, okay, I was sabotaging their agenda as they implemented it, as they built the pipe, the agenda. I was sabotaging it just as fast as they were building it. So it wouldn't work when they implemented it. Okay? Remember that. It switches. Boom! I'm in World War II. I'm in front of the same creek, the same pipe, but I'm an American Canadian soldier. Okay? And all my buddies, we had to do this. We had to do this. But me and my buddies, we were all like the brotherhood with Christ. Okay? And we felt good, but we had to do this. We had to take care. We had to build this thing. And the general came along and said, you're going to do this. Pull that pipe out of the creek. Pull the pipe out of the creek. We're going to build this. And when the Nazis cross it, we're going to blow them up. But the only difference was I was on board with this. I wasn't good with it. I didn't want to fight. No one wants to fight. But we had to stop the bad guy's agenda. So me and my buddies were smoking, we're drinking, and having a good time, pulling out these things. And you know, I'm still thinking, why the fuck am I doing this? Like I'm a slave. And all the rich people that started the fucking war are sitting in their fucking castles and their big fucking mansions, drinking fucking tea and shit. Okay, and I kept thinking that in my head. These are the fuckers that gotta die. These are the guys that gotta die. These fucking politicians and rich Illuminati motherfuckers. They gotta die. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I am fucking sick of it. That's what I was thinking when I was putting my pipes together, packing it full of bombs, making sure it all worked great. Okay? Because we had to stop the Nazi Party. Socialist Nazi Party. That's what it is. I don't know all the words for politics and fucking stuff like that. But I knew it was bad. The Nazis were coming. They were going to kill everybody. And we had to build this fucking thing to stop the agenda. Okay, but the agenda was, and I knew the agenda was implemented by the Illuminati through the Rothschilds and all that shit. Okay, and other factions. But the brotherhood that we had to stop this agenda, man, band of brothers, we're all fighting, killing, and dying to stop this agenda, building this pipe, and that's what I felt in that dream. In the same dream, okay? It was the same dream, but it switched. I was in one part of the dream, I was a Nazi, sabotaging everything because I knew it was a bad agenda. But when I was on the good side, fighting to stop that agenda, I still fucking hated it, but I had to do it. But I'm still at the bottom of the totem pole, okay? Then I woke up from that. I woke up from the dream and I'm laying there and I'm like, what the hell was that about? And I was thinking about it. And the whole point of the dream was what I just told you. different agendas being implemented. And I asked Christ, I go, why? And I can hear him already talking in my head. And I go, why the fuck do I gotta come down here all the time and be a fucking... No, sorry guys, there's one more part of the dream. It went from, sorry. I gotta edit this. No, I'm not. Okay, forget it. Just bear with me, guys. I could edit this and take me another 2 hours, but I'm not gonna edit it. For after the Second World War dream, where I was a good guy, I went. Then I was nowadays, if not a little into the future. I'm a cook or security or something like that to Trump. Okay. Now Trump's the boss. I'm in the CIA or FBI or something, and I gotta take, or I'm one of the servants that serves Trump his fucking meals and shit, and fixes his plane. But I'm working in the White House with Trump, and I'm doing something. I forgot what it was, but I was like a servant, and he had to go somewhere, so all the servants had to go with him, and so we went to the airport, and we got in a jet, or a fancy jet. It looked like a space shuttle. We get in the space shuttle, but it was a space shuttle with a big bubble in the middle. A big bubble. Okay? We get in this thing, but it was really weird looking. It was like a craft, same all the way around, but with a bubble. But it was more like a space shuttle with a bubble in the middle. And so we get into the bubble, we get strapped down on our seatbelts, and the thing takes off. We go into space, and the craft is flipping and turning, but the bubble always remains the same where we are in our seats, right? And then when we got into space, the bubble was going turning, and I was going upside down, and the Earth was going by, and everything was going around, spinning around. Then when we came back in the atmosphere, we went straight up, almost straight up, into outer space. We got there, then we started coming down, and I could see all the lights. It was really vivid. I could see all the lights and everything were coming down. And then we landed in Denver or something, and somewhere out there. Never been there in my life, never. And we start landing, and the bubble is spinning again. Or the bubble was holding still, but when we were in space, the bubble was normal. It was like normal, and the ship was moving around the bubble, but the bubble was stationary. When we got back into the atmosphere, the bubble started moving around. It was some kind of physics thing. But anyway, we land, and we land, and I'm like, wow, that was great, being out in space. Going out in space and outside of orbit, a little bit in space, and then coming back down. So the jets would go up into space and come back down to where they had to be. And the flight time was like an hour or less, like 20 minutes, up and down. And you're up into space and down, and you're on the other side of the planet. I thought that was fascinating, and the lights and everything. And I'm like, and then Bush and his CIA grunts and his fucking goon squad were looking at me, and I'm like, wow, this is really great. And they looked at me with contempt, okay? They looked at me like, did we tell you to speak? They looked at me like that, and they're like, did we ask you to speak? And I'm having a moment, right? And it wasn't Trump that looked at me like that, but his higher up officials that were security or whatever. The fucking, little group of gangs or whatever, group of guys. And they're all looking at me with contempt and like, you fucking cockroach, you're lucky you're on this fucking secret craft, right? And I'm like, and I looked at them and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I had disgust for them, because they were looking at me like I'm a cockroach, like, serve the sandwiches and shut the fuck up. We don't need no fucking talking from you. And that was the feeling I got. And then I woke up, and I thought, I'm the lucky one, because I have to fucking take care of Trump. So I get to go on a secret spacecraft with him. Okay? So I got to see it. Where no one in society even knows this fucking plane exists, okay? And that pissed me off. So I woke up and I'm with Christ, and I go, what the fuck happened? What is that? Okay. And then he goes, that's your answer you wanted. And I go, all I was a slave. And the only reason I got to go into space is because I was a servant. And he goes, servant to fucking Trump. And Christ goes, well, you'll get your answer when it's time. So I thought about, I added all them 3 dreams up. And first one, I was a Nazi saboteur. The second one, I was a soldier trying to destroy the Nazi agenda. The third was, nowadays, 100 years later, damn near, I'm with Trump on a space shuttle going into space and coming back down to Earth. And I was privileged enough to be on that craft, but, no one else gets to go into space, us cockroaches. And I'm like, and I was really pissed off about that. And in my being, in my heart, in my mind, we should be going to the fucking moon and Mars and the other planets already, okay? As far as I'm concerned, if not farther, all right? We should be doing that now. So I'm thinking, is it going to be... And first thing I thought was secret space program. The second thing I thought was, we're just working for them, so they can go have all the fun and get off the planet, okay? The secret space program. It's secret, we don't know about it, but I got to see it as a servant for Trump, okay? But I can't talk about it or I'm dead. And that was the whole thing of the dream. I thought about that for about 10 minutes. I got the meaning of the dream. And then I asked Christ, well, is it ever going to be where we're all equal and we can just have a normal society, like natural law, Christ consciousness, universal law, where everybody in society doesn't have these, we all work together and fucking move on? Because everything, all new knowledge, all new technology is suppressed, okay? And it's used for war and shit like that. Only the elites, so-called ankle biters, so-called elites, get to use this shit because they got all the money. And they keep us stupid watching CNN. And so that pissed me off, and I asked Chris that, and you go, I forgot exactly what he said was, well, you get your answer when you need it, or something like that. So I lay back down, and then all I saw was me with a whole group of other people, friends on the earth. All cockroaches, sheeple. But we're all Christians, and we're all life after life after life working for the betterment of Christ, okay? Which spread throughout the whole world, which becomes everything, and then when that happens, we all evolve into, as soon as we get rid of this fucking Satanist. And so all these wars, but that was the answer Christ gave me, okay? So Christians, the label Christians, I call it Christ consciousness. So all the people that are with Christ consciousness are all helping out mankind, helping out the planet, healing the planet. Because I saw myself healing a dolphin or something. I was taking care of a dolphin until it died. And that's what I did. And then other people were taking care of loved ones. Other people were taking care of other loved ones. And lifetime after lifetime, we kept going up spiritually in the astral plane up into the light, okay? That was the big vision I had after the dream, giving me the answer of why I see people, cool, hardworking people, busting their fucking ass for a little of no money. Like, the guys doing road work and construction, and they're getting no money. Imagine doing that for 50 years. Holy shit. I'm barely fucking walking down the street. You know what I mean? But doing that just to pay the bills, to feed your kids and all that, like, wow. And I get so much contempt for the fucking Illuminati and rich people and the politicians that think they're gods. Use us because they think they're gods. I hate it. I hate it. It drives me nuts. But the whole thing was, we are rich, more richer than them, because we use love, compassion to our fellow humans, where they are just ice cold fucking sociopath serial killer. They don't even know it, because they have no touch with humanity in their heart. They are so fucking outside of humanity, they don't even walk down the street. They go from their house to the car to another place. The bankers, the politicians, they don't ever get out. The Illuminati, the Rothschilds, you're never going to see them in the mall. You're never going to see them walking down the street. They do not associate with the scum of the earth in the zoo. Okay? If you're not in the Illuminati structure, if you're in it, everything outside the Illuminati structure is called the zoo. Okay? They never go into the zoo. They got their own little fucking elite world. Okay? So, they sure as hell ain't gonna talk to you. Ever. Ever. So, they're totally dissociated with humanity. They live in their own fucking world. They've always been there. They don't know no different. Because they're nuts. And they're fucking syphilis-sucking sociopaths. They're crazy. With more money than God. And that's what the dream was about. And that was my answer. We have love, compassion, and humanity. With all of us hanging out, doing our thing as Christ consciousness, Christians, or Christians. That's what the whole thing was about, Christianity, Christ consciousness, not the religion. Don't ever go to the religion. I'm done with the fucking religion. The Christ consciousness as humanity, as all one group of people. They're just playing your game. You don't see it because it's such a long-term thing. But humanity is humanity. And there's more of us than them, okay? And there's other factors going on in the universe and in the spirit world that we're not privy to. The higher-ups in the spirit world and in the universe, they got plans. They're making things happen. This can't go on forever. There's going to be another war where we got to build a pipe and stop this shit. Alright? Pretty cool dream. Gave me an answer to what I was looking for.